Tech family, it's Josh. Today is my 1-year anniversary on YouTube, and I have something super special in store for you all to celebrate. In this video, I'm going to walk you through my YouTube journey, including what I learned, what I screwed up, what equipment I bought that was worth it, and what was a complete waste of time, eventually helping me create this setup you see right now, and with your support, growing the channel from 1 subscriber a year ago to where it is today. At the end of this video, if you enjoyed it, don't forget to smash that subscribe button, hit the thumbs up and the notification bell. It shows your appreciation for what I do. All the links of the equipment I talk about today will be in the description below. Originally, I created this YouTube channel because I wanted to try a new hobby. I knew that I loved technology, especially laptops, and was spending countless hours of my free time trying them out in stores, researching them online, and testing the ones I bought, all in the name of trying to find the best laptops. But even with all the time and effort I was putting in, I found myself regularly returning laptops disappointed by issues that I hadn't seen adequately covered. My friends were laughing at me, saying I was super fussy and was a laptop addict, but at the same time, they were constantly asking me for advice on what they should buy. I thought by creating a YouTube channel, I could share my learnings and help others. Plus, it would give me an opportunity to learn a new skill set, which I love doing. Seriously, I never owned a decent camera before April last year. This has helped me learn about cameras and video creation. And lastly, I had a bunch of things I wanted to experience that I'd been putting off, such as hiking in the USA or getting fitter. I thought that having an audience would push me to get out there and do the things I've always dreamed of. But I later found out that you preferred me sitting on my ass talking about laptops instead. Although I was super excited to buy a nice camera and get learning, I thought first, why not try out the camera in my smartphone? I've got the Samsung Galaxy 9 Plus, which has the kind of camera with a similar quality that most of you should have access to. Straight away, I could see that the quality could be improved with a couple of simple and cheap changes. So I placed my phone on top of a tripod for stabilized footage. And I started using the camera on the back of the smartphone rather than the one on the front because it's generally far higher quality. I cleaned myself up with a fresh shave, did my hair, plus I started wearing plain colored shirts because I feel they show up far better on YouTube footage. Plus, they're less distracting than the checkered shirt I was wearing before. All in all though, it still didn't look that good. I really needed to film with better light sitting near a window during the day. Now, I had heard the importance of audio, that good quality audio was even more important than video, because if people can't hear your story, then they're just going to tune out. So I bought the Rode SmartLav Plus. Now I sound more presentable. You know, funnily enough, this could be a good option for someone just looking to get some content out there on the cheap, especially if you have a better camera in your smartphone than I have in mine. But it was time to get my camera and I was super excited about it. I chose the Sony a6400. I knew I wanted a camera that was good enough for me to grow into. I also wanted something lightweight as I wanted to take it out and about with me. Plus, I didn't want to spend more than $1,000 just in case I ended up abandoning this new hobby, so full frame cameras were out. I straight away saw the substantial improvement in video quality. This is the look straight out of camera. But audio quality still left a lot to be desired. So I purchased a cheap shotgun mic that a salesperson had recommended, but I still didn't like the quality. So I ended up going back to the lav mic that I was using before. Now, I found that the video quality, although good, wasn't comparable to other YouTubers out there. I had read reviews that the Sigma 16mm f1.4 lens was the sharpest lens you could buy for my camera. So I gave it a try. Wow, now the picture is clear and you can hear what I'm saying. I knew that I wanted to film at night because I work during the day, but I noticed a substantial drop in quality from my new camera and lens. So I bought the hyped up Aperture ALMX light and a light stand and I turned off all the lights in my room, but it still wasn't that good. It was either too bright and there were heaps of reflections on my face and shadows behind me, or it wasn't bright enough. I did my research and found out a lot of YouTubers wear makeup to fix this, like a blotting powder and a tinted moisturizer. So I bought some. I bought a second Aperture ALMX light. It certainly helped, but I still felt the results just didn't look that professional. Funnily enough, the reason I went this route to begin with is because I wanted a minimal setup, but with two of them, it wasn't heading that way. I eventually decided I just needed to upgrade, so I went with the Falconized 40ATD, a very well reviewed, much larger and softer light, and I really think it helped. And along the way, I even tried experimenting with some nightclub lights I had from my DJing past. Eventually, I abandoned filming at night and decided to film on the weekend during the day at my dining room table. This is the setup that I use for many of my original videos that helped kick off the channel. At this time, I began experimenting with color grading and recording with log profiles because I was never that happy with the default colors coming out of the camera as the light bounced around my apartment. Plus, I started using a gray card like this. With this card, I was able to effectively set the white balance in post and make things look even better. But I still wasn't happy with my picture quality. I felt my videos just weren't comparable to professional YouTubers. I did the research and found that many of them were using this light called the Aperture 120D, a rather expensive light that costs around $900 with the softbox. So I was holding off on purchasing it till my subscriber base grew. But in the week leading up to Black Friday, my subscriber base did start to grow as many people were looking for cheap laptop deals. So on Black Friday, I treated myself and took advantage of a deal and purchased my own Aperture 120D Mark II and matching softbox. I immediately saw an improvement in quality and realized I should have never wasted time with those cheaper lights that I tried. The next problem I needed to solve was how long it was taking me to record the videos. It was crazy. It was taking me around 4 hours to shoot a 10-minute clip. This was because I had to memorize a deeply technical script. And what was adding to the problem was the light streaming in from the windows behind me was changing as the sun was moving, so it was very hard to edit in post. Overall, a very frustrating experience. I decided to switch to using a teleprompter, but my wide-angle lens, the Sigma 16mm, was getting cut off as it shot through the teleprompter, like you can see here. I bought the Sigma 30mm f1.4 lens, a narrower lens that would shoot through the teleprompter. It was such a good decision, as the side effect of using a longer lens was that it also fixed another problem that was bothering me. With the previous 16mm wide lens, my head just looked big and out of proportion to my body, a look other YouTubers do use, but one I never liked. The 30mm focal length of my new lens is much closer to the way your eyes see the world. So finally, I could relax, I looked in proportion and felt my video quality was at a good enough YouTuber level. But I'd never been entirely happy with my audio quality. There was always too much background noise and too much reverberation. An idea went off in my head. Why not just temporarily unplug the fridge that was causing most of the background noise in my apartment while filming? So I did. By the way, lav mics like the one I'm using are generally not directional, so they do pick up sound in the room like from the fridge. But anyway, I decided to upgrade and invest in a better shotgun mic, the Deity D3 Pro, and a mic stand from Amazon. With this setup, I was able to place the mic very near my mouth but out of sight of the camera and have it facing downward so it wouldn't pick up much background noise. Finally, I was satisfied with my sound quality, like the video quality. It was around this time that I shifted the location I was sitting at to reduce the overexposure of light from the windows behind me. But I wasn't done. I wanted to add a second camera angle to make the videos more interesting, especially when I had long-running segments of me just talking at the camera, which I felt could be boring for the viewer and needed to be broken up. Plus, I needed a second camera for some video ideas I had, like the one you're watching now. I started to look around and eventually settled on the Sony a6600, the big brother to my Sony a6400. The main reasons were that it had eye autofocus in video and it would make editing between the two cameras easy as they had the same color signs. Occasionally, my Sony a6400, which didn't have eye autofocus in video, would focus on the laptop I was talking about instead of me, which was annoying. The camera ended up being much better than I expected. I really appreciated the bigger battery. Seriously, having to constantly swap batteries every 45 minutes in the Sony a6400 was very annoying. I purchased the very sharp Sigma 56mm f1.4 lens for my new camera to create that interview look. It took me a year to create the setup you're watching now, and I certainly spent a lot more than the original $1,000 that I set aside for the budget, but I am so happy I did it. I know that I now have a setup that I can create quality content into the future. Thank you all for the wonderful support and encouragement during my first year of YouTube. I hope you've enjoyed experiencing this journey with me. If you did, you know what to do. Smash that subscribe button, click the thumbs up and the notification bell. If you have questions, just join the Discord chat, Twitter, or post them in the comments below. Till next time, I'll catch you later.